I am a professional shit talker. I shit talk my way into the presidency of the Democratic Party, UTSA. I was out there telling people, go vote. These issues are important. Black Lives Matter, gun control. Until the day the white man put a gun on me, and I didn't even knock on the fucking door. I was on the sidewalk. But I realized, Republican or Democrat, it really don't matter if it's black. Because it's gonna take 100 years for us to get something. And I think I'm bullshit. I'm not saying that just to say it. 1865, we were free. 1965, we got the right to vote. So it probably won't be till 2065, when I am 65, that I'll get my reparations. Ain't that a bitch? See, they are very slow to give, but quick to take away. I think I'm bullshit. Right after slavery ended, they passed laws saying, like loitering. Look at them just kicking it, being around. Let's lock them up and take their freedom away. The civil rights thing happened because they didn't like us having the right to vote. Let's take it away. You ever wonder why King was still marching for 3 years after the Civil Rights Act in 1965? Because voting is slow. Change is slow. But when they killed him, a few days after that, they passed the Civil Rights Act. Another one. Quick to give, slow to give, but quick to take away. So if you want some gun control, I'll tell you, it's very simple. If you look at history, because life goes in cycles, history often repeats itself. 1966, the Black Panthers, man, this might be something. The Black Panthers went to the state capitol with firearms and had a peaceful protest. And Ronald Reagan, the governor of California at the time, he decided, I don't like that. The next year, he passed gun control, so they can never do that again. The only other time we had major gun control was in 1994 with Joe Biden and the Crime Bill Act. And what happened? They said, crime is out of control. Let's take away the freedom of so many black people, and let's give up AR-15s. So it's this simple. If you want gun control, I'm gonna need every black person, every person of color, every crazy feminist in this motherfucker. Go buy you an AR-15, and in every state, I need you to go to the Capitol and have a peaceful protest. Thank you. Real shit. Alright, the second one, I have it somewhat written down in case I forget it, but I think I got it memorized for the most part. I was born a lover, not a fighter. But if you love something, eventually you gotta fight for it. See, my mama wanted me to be like MLK and Jesus, the tiny little sheep. But even Jesus got pissed off and took the table and walked. So I chose to be like Malcolm X to the tech, or at the very least, David with a slingshot, saying, bring me every Goliath that you got. I found out I actually like hitmans. And it's confused me, because my whole family has always been about peace. My grandfather's favorite Bible verse was, blessed are the peacemakers. He had peacemaker everywhere. I thought the shit was a logo. I didn't even know it was a Bible verse. So we used to take walks around the neighborhood, and he would call it peace missions. We would go around to everybody in the neighborhood. Neither oil change, or fits, built, you name it, was doing it. But I said to myself, how can a Vietnam veteran, someone who had to do terrible things, be a peacemaker? When I looked into my ancestry, every major American war since the Civil War, at least one of my family members are fought. And I said to myself, how the hell are we peacemakers? We violent as fuck. But I said, if you love something, you will fight for it. We were fighting for our loved ones at home. We were fighting for our rights. So following tradition, I got deployed to Iraq, dealing with COVID, terrorism. That's an expected how was to deal with racism. See, when that officer handcuffed George Floyd and took a knee, that's when I began to experience all sorts of bigotry. And I looked at my sergeant and said, these motherfuckers do know I got that ladder. They don't make it slider, right? But I'll never forget the day when my fellow troops called me a nigger. I cocked the gun back, pointed at him, and my finger on the trigger. I said, you better say sorry, hold the part of this gun blow. Because how dare you talk so much shit out your mouth and you don't know what the fuck you talking about. My family built this country. We fought every motherfucking war in this country. Because we were fighting to protect those we love, fighting for our rights, fighting to be seen as equals. Kind of a bit of a joke, ain't it? I said to myself, the next time I fight, the next time I go to war, I'm going to war for my people. Because if there's anything I love, and there's anything worth fighting for, it is my people.
Yeah, I was like, did you read my poem? Just kidding, love you, Mom. I guess I just want to start by saying, like, I've actually never read anything serious in my whole life. I'm not a poet by any means. I wrote this, like, in tears when I was on my way to work this morning. My preferred craft is comedy. I actually do stand-up comedy here in San Antonio, so I'm usually up here doing the funnies. But it seems like everyday life gets a little less funny with the state of the world and everything. I actually had to personally read a small business owner, as a matter of fact, on Facebook today for making very inappropriate jokes about the situation. And he had tried to kind of justify it by saying, oh, this is how I get through tragedy, and I also have children, which is horrifying on so many levels. But as somebody with no kids and also has the privilege to not only get asked, but get paid most of the time to go out and do jokes about my own trauma on stage in front of a bunch of strangers, nothing is funny about this situation. You know, and I know it hits really hard because we're in Texas, and it is in our home state, but whether it's a shooting in New York or a shooting here in Texas, we have to treat it all equally, because nothing's going to change. You know, we can't keep sugarcoating it because that's only gotten us to the next mass shooting. So, anyways, without further ado, this is a Facebook clip here. I drive through 3 different school zones on the way to work every day. Today, I noticed a little boy no older than 7 alone. He was making his merry little way to school on his razor scooter. Immediately panic set in. I was thinking about this little tiny kid just with no adults around to protect him from any number of things that can happen to him on the way to school. Whether it was a kidnapping, accidentally getting hit by a car, a random dog attack on the loose, like, just the list can really go on. Then reality set in. And the worst part was he was walking to school to continue to not be protected by the adults in charge of putting laws and rules and protocol in place for his safety. And I'm not talking about teachers who I'm sure are equally as scared to go to school every day, including my own mom. But where are his adults? Why is he walking to school alone? Why would anybody let this kid walk alone today of all days? Does he have a bulletproof insert for his backpack? And then reality set in again. His adults, just like our teachers and moms, still had to go to work today. They have no choice but to go to work today to make ends meet. They have to go to work and type their stupid little emails and fix their stupid fucking spreadsheet. Or even worse, provide some sort of customer care for the same people who care more about their God-given right to have guns that don't give a fuck about their kid that had to walk to school alone this morning. Or the thousands of other kids that had to walk to school alone today. These kids are expected to still go into school today, have a really hard discussions with their teachers, and then just continue to learn fractions and decimals and move on with the day like it's normal. Their parents still have to go to work and be productive while thinking maybe this is the morning that will be the last time they kiss their kids goodbye. I am not a mother, but I am a big sister. And it makes me physically fucking sick. Googling bulletproof, and the first autofill option is backpack for kids. For kids. For all of the kids that will go to school next fall and won't get that Hello Kitty backpack or the Spider-Man backpack they wanted because it just doesn't fit that bulletproof insert quite right. Or even worse, not have one at all because of many reasons their own adults can't get one for them. This isn't about being anti-gun, it's about gun laws. This is about being pro-children, not pro-life, pro-children. So if you care more about your constitutional right to your guns or inanimate objects than the women's right to her own bodily autonomy, or children going to school in fear of dying every day, then get the fuck out of my face. I'm so sick of hearing your nonsense arguments. And go thank a teacher today. Like my mom, or give her a cigarette. God knows she fucking needs one. Thanks, man.
Pretty nervous up here. I had something that I was going to read, but in the light of what happened yesterday, I didn't want to make it that dark. Your stuff was amazing. No. That was perfect. But I do want to touch on something else. 19 people, right? How many? 21 now? So how many kids? 19 kids, okay? So I just want to speak on the ripple effect of what that's going to do. To put it in perspective, as a former firefighter paramedic, that I've never responded to anything like that, but I've responded to some horrific fucking shit, and I've had to deal with some horrific fucking shit. The ripple effect of what happened yesterday is going to affect brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas and obviously mothers and fathers. It's going to create a trauma. These kids that are in that school are going to be time stamped with what happened, and some of them will never recover. What's going to happen is they're going to fail out of school. It's going to create a drug trend, alcoholism. It's going to create a cycle that they're going to have to learn to break. And it doesn't stop there. I think it was 80 Border Patrol agents had to respond to that because they were the closest. And one of those Border Patrol agents is the father of a baseball teammate of my son. And he said it's the most gruesome scene that he's ever walked in on, and he can never unsee it. So now we've stretched into the Border Patrol agents, the police that responded, the paramedics and the firefighters that had to go in there, and then you have all the people that had to come in there and remove the bodies. This is something they will never be able to undo in their brain, no matter how much therapy they go to, trust me, and no matter how they try to deal with it, this is something they will have to address every day for the rest of their life. And I just wanted to give you that perspective because I think we close off and we stop, and I don't want to downgrade it with nice kids. It's fucking horrible, but I want everybody to understand the ripple effect and how many generations these incidents affect, okay? That being said, I'm going to read something a little bit lighter than I had originally intended, hopefully to keep the mood. So she asked me one time, explain to me how you feel about me. And I wrote this, and I titled it The World's Most Beautiful Song. You'll hear me drop that line in other poems. You'll hear me drop a line like maybe it was all a dream in other poems. But that's an Easter egg line for her in anything that I write. So the world's most beautiful song. You are like the world's most beautiful song performed live. So moving, you cause a smile, while at the same time, tears from the eye. Your presence is a melody, setting a tone of heaven on earth. Your soul is like the world's most beautiful singer, captivating you with each verse. Your body is a symphony, orchestrating excellence. Every instrument plays in faultless unity, while your heart is like a composer, conducting a ballad in perfect key. Your smile is like the world's most beautiful instrumental, and your voice an outstanding a cappella. Sing to my heartbeat. Lyrics aren't necessary when you have music this incredible, but nothing is more sacred than when you smile and speak. You are like the world's most beautiful song come to life. I'll never understand how you played wrong, physically hit out of tune, or emotionally hurt within, because by having this done would be like keeping the world's most beautiful song unsung. Thank you so much.
Hi. This is called Momentum. It's easier to hate than it is to love, for hate is effortless, while love requires patience, thought, and self-control. Hate is easier to spread than love. It is simpler to criticize than to help someone out. Less seems like freedom, whereas love feels like a ball and chain. Emotions are contagious. So why does hate seem to overpower love? Love requires care and true emotions. Meanwhile, hate knows the heart and turns emotions cold. We are so quick to prejudge and criticize when we ourselves are perfect. It's too easy to be shallow and self-absorbed than it is to look under the surface and see the true heart and soul. We overlook things because they're dirty. They don't match up to our standards or to society's idea of normal. Why? We assume that it makes asses of ourselves. Are we really that lazy or blind to see how easy it is for us to be led like sheep by someone or something because it's attractive or says or does the right things? If love is so important, then why do so many people abandon it to be with kids, kidnap some children, or by making themselves feel bigger by making someone else feel small? Love is much more difficult and is worth a challenge. Love requires work on everyone's part. Who knows, perhaps one day love will grow stronger and overpower the hate. Would that be such a bad thing?
Yo, I'm fly, much like that eagle to the sky, aspirations flying high, and yes, I'm that guy that's genius. My words make sense and make sense if you put it in your mind and get off your behind and do something. Hardly ever blame the white man. I looked in the mirror, gave control to the right man. I used to pray for things out of the sky till I realized that I am the sky, and you are the sky, and we are the sky, and like the sky, we have no limits. God set us free, so why be timid? So my time has come for me to take center stage in this game of life. So often, so unfairly played, and oftentimes I sat and wondered and imagined if I could be what I strive to be, and if this could really happen. So I sit and calculate all the time that it would take, sacrifices I will make, just for me to stack my cake. Never second guess myself. Do I want to live this life? Early morning, sleepless nights. So I ask myself this question. Do I struggle all my life when I can do what's best for me, man? Work to build my brand, then have people sign at me, man. See, some don't get it. Logically, they just don't understand. To grind a little now, from super salaries 100 grand. You know, I never wanted to be a business guy. But I always saw myself as a business, my guy. But tell me, what do you do when you go harder than the average man and you spit the truth, but it is just by literally every man? Just deal with it, because nobody want to hear the truth. People love the gimmicks and the lie of satisfaction now. That's really sad, but really I'm just saying, if the truth really hurts, then I'm a fatal attraction. How y'all doing today? So this is my book right here, Contrary Popular Belief. It's available on Amazon and on MandyCore.com. I also have copies with me today. So if you feel me, fuck with me. I got one more for you. Wake up, my people. It's got to happen right now. It's time to say, I knew that, instead of, I don't know how. Guns and drugs on the street, home and schools. And folks still say that they fans and thinking it's cool. Fellas, I'm gonna let y'all know something straight off the rip. You pull your pants up on your ass before taking the trip, because on the low, someone might see the gym when you let one slip. I'll let that marinate for a second. It's time to come correct, or just leave it alone. If we can't have respect, we already gone. This is a call to action. We got too much hostility, teenage pregnancies, and not enough dignity. Now listen to my words and listen good, because I'm talking about trouble in our neighborhood. Tell these kids right and tell them what's good. If we could all do that, we might heal the hood. But some folks ain't hearing me though. We got too many students and none of them teachers. We got too many sellers and none of them preachers. Shoot, so many real niggas, no positive figures. That's why we got to build that foundation and give them some ground instead of always hating and bringing each other down. I stopped by to tell you we need to improve, but first we got to rise up and then we can move. This is a call to action. You know it's crazy. Yesterday, I looked onto the news and I see kids having kids. Kids killing kids. Folks going into schools and killing kids. Yo, they didn't have to do it, but they went and did. Now we gotta move on, take a lesson from the past, and start telling these kids the truth because these kids are growing fast. Social media's out of hand. Man, you dying every day. But we pretend not to see it. The problems just don't fade away. Let's stop all the homicides and choose life today. Don't make a stupid decision on the wrong day. Oh, well, folks ain't trying to hear that. They're too busy stressed out on joys, material things, and crack. But here's a fact. We're so busy turning up that we forget to turn down the negativity that brings our people down. And it's crazy. We want better, but we're afraid to change. You can't have a Kool-Aid mindset and expect champagne. I'm just saying it's kind of strange. And folks sell their soul for a piece of change, doing it for the wealth. They were thinking about their health. That's how they went and sold themselves to a strong pain for death. And by the time they realized that, they done took their last breath. And that's a serious issue. And the way I said, we either curse this, nurse this, rehearse this, but I choose to reverse this trend of negativity. This is a call to action. I'm Jay Hartz. Fuck with me.
Y'all be proud of the fact that Kendrick Lamar scored #1 in this recent album, y'all. So this one is for him. Mortal Man from the Pepper Butterfly. I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I didn't say, abusing my power fully resentment. Resentment that turns to a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The Eagles and Lucy was all around me. So I went up looking for answers. Until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Maybe want to go back and convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how able my foundation was. But when my loved ones was fighting continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one. The war that was facing apartheid and discrimination. Maybe when I go back to the city and tell the homies what I learned. The word was respect. Just because you're more different gang color than mine doesn't mean I can't respect you as a black man. You're getting all the pain and hurt and causing each other in these streets. If I respect you, if you don't find stop here, we kill us. But I don't know. I'm no more man. Maybe I'm just another nigga. Anybody talking without talking, fellas, well shut the fuck up! Falling out of bids, wasting the envelopes, I call them off. An empty wallet. Legal paperwork. First 3 out of 10. Line up single file on the bench. Let's go. Open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Back to your ears, one at a time. Okay, bring your heads over. Shake them out with your fingers. Hands above your head. Hands out in front of you. Over. Both the fingers. Reach down, lift up the nutsack. Drop your nutsack, skin back dip. Turn around. 1 foot at a time. Bring up little toes. Other foot. Okay, bend over, grab it, spread the cheeks, give me 2 good coughs. That was American Me. Directed by Edward James Olmos, y'all.
Extremely plastered, pretty sure I did awful.
Great.
And I have a new poem. y'all can help me. Alright, so here we go. Close your eyes. You think back to the times when you were too naive to see clearly. You wish it brought you peace, but all that comes is suffering. Open your eyes, but your mind stays behind while you walk as a zombie. Isn't it comforting? The way they sing makes you feel complete. You feel seen. That's what you like, isn't it, darling? Close your eyes. You close your eyes, yet you're still blind. You haven't begun to see and reach, yet you think you're striving. Waiting for the fall, those who love you stand tall, and you still can't see. Carrying the weight as you go along, you're sickening. Because you think that your eyes, sorry, I didn't get to finish writing on my phone. Because you think that, sorry, I'm so sorry. Because you think you're doing something, yet you close your eyes and you're choosing to be blind. Are you too naive to see clearly? Choose the fire that still burns inside. Do you feel it dwindling? That's it. Appreciate it.
Alright, I got mainly old shit, but it's kinda new shit. Yeah, thanks. Alright, this one is actually inspired by Andrew's elegy. So. I lie down in my grave and renew vigor into brittle bones, concave eye sockets, reaching past my dark chambers to watch my children run away from me. Eyeing my eroded appendages, skewering skin, rotting what is left. They run and grow proud blooms, decorating not my damp and dirty room. They trampled seeds, blooming weeds, dressing their ancestral land with death.
Yeah, that was better.
And this next one, the last one. So let's begin again at the first word that curves in your mouth, that lilts and jumps from the tip of your tongue, a stuck sprung coiled tightly into a little black dot at the end of any sentence. Let's begin again. No, let's move into the familiar confines of a trap you set for yourself, a trap you intended to be caught in the moment you set a toe in your insubordination for claiming yourself as a lion tamer, when it was your resistance to change that ripped bits of your flesh away at your failure to be led a different way. For 6 months of my life, I avoided the ideas foaming at the back of my throat. I blacked out, inebriated by rebellion and defiance. I don't know where this poem is going, so let's begin again, dear friends.
Hell yeah, there's a lot of pretty sexy motherfuckers in this bitch. Yeah! Love that. Alright, so yeah, I usually got new shit, but I actually got edited shit for y'all tonight. Yeah, definitely on the simpy side, so I mean bear with me, alright? She promised she would love me, but only until she sobers up. But she begs me to buy her drinks. It's like she wants to love me, but she needs me to fuck her up first. Like, she can't love me walking through a museum, looking at artifacts. We can't find our love in a zoo, looking at the monkeys and elephants with goofy safari hats, finger locking, feeding to giraffes, laughing at the gorillas. Nope. Being inebriated will only show her true feelings. The more liquor she slugs, the more frisky with hugs. The phrase, no, don't stop, turns into no, don't stop. And I'm drunk too, so I'm gonna do what suckers do and pay for any drink for you, and I never learn. My bank account gets nailed the more she gets hammered. Every night out, every drink poured, every empty compliment fills me up to keep the drinks coming. I hope that it ends differently. It never does. Just me at last, The Nina last call with a long list of charges, whiskey, tequila, woman braces, neck kisses, long engagements, all have dollar signs next to them. And every weekend is the same thing. I'm convinced I'm listed as free drinks in her contacts. I keep letting it happen though. I'm intoxicated about who she is. I chase her with no chaser, especially when she's dressed with glitter on my lips that just relaxes me. I need AA just to get off of her. I know she's no good for me. I thought it would be relaxing like Malibu, but she left me to be a lone star. Broke up twice when I go back to you. She truly believed she could be my absolute. But she left me in a well for deep Eddies and Tito's.
Play that shit, Brado!
I'm intoxicated about who she is. I chase her with no chaser, especially when she's dressed to put her on my lips that just relaxes me. I need AA just to get off of her. I know she's no good for me. I thought it would be relaxing like Malibu, but she left me to be a lone star. Broke up twice, my Dos Equis. She truly believed she could be my absolute, but she left me in the well for deep Eddies and Tito's. She left her white claws in me to buy her red and black labels. See, I rock her hypnotic waves and her Taco Chico, but I know I need to stop Super Ultra that can to a Casa Amigos. Like, can you just be honest with me? Do you even like me? Yes, no, or possibly. Or do I just keep using these Jaeger bombs to tear down the walls you put up? My problem is, I don't need liquor to love her. But I need liquor to leave her. Thank you.
More than our wings. Life is a sidewalk kiss me, and it is as if, even after being kicked from the nest, we're too poor to let down our guard. Be little birds with songs in our hearts without having to worry about breakups, blindsides, job loss, heart loss, failure, stacking medical bills, tension, and just be well. Little birds, this is the rooster calling, saying don't take that window pane to the grave like a woulda, shoulda, couldn't, but didn't get up again. Don't wait in those dark, flightless corners until death picks you off easier than a cynic. You are dying already as it is. Little birds, if you hit that window and hit the ground, you run at a catch-hell speed, blood rushing to your wing as long as it takes to heal, with death upon your heels until you lift again and death is out of breath. And he says, fuck that little bird, I'ma catch him tomorrow. Take flight like you know death may be ready tomorrow, but your name is Warrior. Little birds, this is a rooster calling. And while I'm kicking up dust, I'm really just watching y'all as your wings harden. You're motivated to mix it up again and smack more windows like your last heartbreak didn't sting hard enough. Like life is an undertow of glass ready to bring you down like you won't drown, and you will dance to the songs your hollow bones play when they break through skin, exposed to the open air like pan fruits. And I wish I can lift every window for y'all. Life ain't that easy. Just ask Jesus, or Mary, or Job, or any goodwill employee you know. Children, your pride will hurt you, ruin even the best of relationships. But I swear, if I offend God and got kicked from her good graces, fiery lakes to be damned, I will raise hell to heaven's gates, knock nicely, and apologize, because God always takes another chance on a long shot like me, like you, like us little birds. You are a badass. So keep that song in your head, and especially when you're down, then sing it out loud. Sing it like you're sacrificing your hollow bones to the sky, remembering that you were born to fly. Remembering that there are more unfortunate people out there, and closed windows, though they may suck, if you hit them hard enough, they will break. If you hit them like a motherfucking little bird, if you don't let them break you first. I have her.